Hello, this is TelecomTV. I'm Martin Warwick. We are in Amsterdam at Broadband World Forum 2014 here at the RAI Exhibition Centre, and I'm talking with John Carter, who is UK Head of Business Development, Connected Home at Deutsche Telekom.
Correct.
John,
yes.
Welcome.
Hi there.
I assume that the Connected Home is part of the general trend of the Internet of Things, which
Absolutely.
we're told by 2020 there'll be, 200 billion things connected to the internet.
Correct.
And that includes all sorts of stuff in the home.
Absolutely. I mean, if it has mains, if it has battery, it's powered, it will have an IP address. It will be connected. Totally.
Even my granddaughter's little electric teddy bear.
I think that the range of devices that will be connected will be amazing, from your electric toothbrush through your there's no reason why it couldn't be. I mean, if you just think about the toothbrush, from the oral health actually can determine what your heart, there's
True.
any health issue in terms of heart issues.
Yep.
So I think we haven't even started to grasp the potential opportunity around IoT in the home. It's really immense.
Now, Deutsche Telekom is the incumbent telco in Germany.
Correct. Yeah.
It was, a big old monolithic thing which has changed a lot in recent years. And you are in Germany. Let's take your home market for the time being. In Germany, you are actually offering connected home applications, facilities, services to the end domestic customer. Is that right?
Correct.
So what do you provide?
So in Germany we have DT Smart Home, which is a package which is in many of our telecom stores on the high street in Germany, and it's achieving a lot of traction amongst German consumers. But we also have, we leverage the capability and the investments we've made in Germany internationally. So we're talking to telcos, to CPs, to utilities, to insurers, to retailers, to actually how they could benefit from the investments that Deutsche Telekom has made in Germany to their customers in a much broader range of markets.
So let me get this right. So then in Germany, through you being a telco service provider, you're offering direct to the end consumer, to the subscriber.
Correct.
And you have a platform of your own which you then rent to, sell out to, however you want to describe it, or on a sort of a white box sort of thing.
It's white label.
White label, yeah.
And what's really unique about it is it's open. So there are many connected home sort of services or platforms out there, but generally they're siloed, so they're just down energy management or they're proprietary, they're using their own sort of closed ecosystem. What DT has sought to do is to make sure it was completely open. So we plug in third-party devices, so we have partnerships with Philips or Miele, the appliance manufacturer, or even relationships with BMW on the sort of device appliance side. But then at the back end, we also have a number of partnerships with third-party platform providers. So we have a major strategic partnership with Allianz, the insurer, because actually what we believe is necessary to drive growth, both in Germany, but also growth with customers outside Germany, is that open platform where we really are fostering innovation, fostering sort of an entrepreneurial spirit, and that's what we're trying to do to drive this market around the connected home.
When you talk about open, of course, you also immediately think about standards and open standards. Does that impinge anyway at all on the connected home or the Internet of Things?
I mean, it's absolutely critical that we're obviously following standards. I mean, we deploy Zigbee, we're soon to deploy Z-Wave, Bluetooth at a wireless protocol level. The core, sort of the kernel, the architecture is based off Java, OSGI, but we also, we've developed an open API, and we're actively involved in a community to foster developers. So the other week we were at Java One, which is a big sort of developer event, to bring developers onto the platform and actually get them to understand the huge potential opportunity there is around IoT in the home.
So John, what's going to drive the market then? I take it there's more than one use case. There must be.
Absolutely, and I think one of the issues that we as telcos perhaps have faced is we just think there's one use case, that there must be one killer application. And what's key about the connected home is there's not one use case, and there's multiple. There are so many sort of niche and sort of segmented based use cases that need to be developed and need to be taken to market. And related to that, it's not just a simple B2C model. It's B2B2C and on occasions B2B2B2C because we have a partnership with Miele. So it's partners then with their retailers, partner with their installers, their service providers, because actually you need to build an ecosystem. And today, I think the telecoms industry has looked too much at just simple home automation, home control, and security. And we think that's an interesting market, and we don't want to in any way put that down. But actually, the market is much broader than that. And by building an ecosystem which can touch insurers, can touch retailers, can touch appliance manufacturers directly, actually makes it much more attractive to us as telcos, but also to the wider market. So we think about IoT, and everyone knows one of the big use cases around the connected car is usage-based insurance, so automotive telematics. We think many of the needs that drive that sort of automotive telematics also apply to the home. So if you think about the European insurance market, property insurance market, about 100 billion is spent in premiums every year across Europe for sort of building and content insurance. About 60 billion is spent in claims. Now, if you want to try and improve and optimize the efficiency of that industry, there's a lot you can do around IoT. And actually, we think that UBI in the smart home is a particularly attractive market, which today we haven't really seen a lot of traction. Maybe that's because insurers are risk adverse by nature, but we think that there is a really interesting market that can be developed, can be fostered, that tries to change the model around actually how you build relationships with customers, how you improve the interactivity with customers, and actually capture data to actually give customers better discounts. So there's more loyalty that's sort of engendered in the relationship with insurers.
We touched on this earlier in the interview, John, but I'd like to come back to it finally to round it off. There's a lot of talk about technology transformation, which of course with IoT and Connected Home is exactly that. It's predicated obviously on broadband, on various standards and so on, and openness. It's also driving change within the service provider organisations themselves, and in some cases those changes were very necessary. But sometimes, and I've spoken to a lot of people about this, it's very hard to drive through an old-fashioned telco. In fact, not necessarily an old-fashioned telco, any kind of telco, because of the way in the past everything was siloed and now everything's horizontal. What has been the effect of new initiatives such as Connected Home, Internet of Things, as you've been talking about, on DT, Deutsche Telekom, as an organisation? Has it changed the internal psychology and thinking?
I think actually DT, I mean, we're the fourth largest telco in the world. Innovation actually is, I would say, you would say that because I'm DT, I would say this, but it's actually innovation is really at the heart of what a lot of what we're doing. So we have a huge sort of product and innovation team, and Quivicon, the Connected Home, is a big part of what we're talking about, because actually we need to drive greater value. We need to look at new ways, new revenue streams, and Internet of Things, as it relates to the consumer, relates to our customers, our subscribers, it presents a huge opportunity, but it's not necessarily in the traditional way. It's not the fifth place service. It's something which is different to that sort of traditional model, because increasingly you're going to have to follow an indirect channel to market. It's not just going to be another service you add to that list of services the customer has, because you're going to have to work with partners like insurers and with retailers. Yeah. And so I think that is actually helping us to drive innovation within the business, because you need to look at different go-to-market strategies, and probably that is the innovation.
Well, basically, surely it's a negation of the old claims 20, 10, 15 years ago it was, when everything was done in-house. We are the telco that you come to for absolutely everything. This is the one-stop shop telco. We do absolutely everything. You don't need to go anywhere else. That model's as dead as a dodo, but some organisations have been dragged kicking and screaming to acceptance of this. Others have said, yeah, this is great, this is an opportunity, let's embrace it. Where's DT in that?
So I think that where DT is we have this plug strip mentality. So this architecture where we can just plug in third-party platforms. And I would say that in a way we balance the two. I would say almost down the middle. Yeah. Because actually we think we need to create this architecture that actually enables third parties to plug into us and then to service their customers or our customers. And so it's almost a mix of the two. Yes, we have invested in building our own platform, but that platform on its own isn't the solution. The solution actually is working with multiple third parties, because it's together we can breed a much sort of more compelling and more interesting model, and that's the focus of what we're doing. So there's a significant change than where we were 10, 15 years ago, but it's a more interesting, more compelling model.
Well, times are changing. John Carter, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.